Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Theravada Buddhism Series, Dhamma Talk number 59. 16 mental conditions that swells the mind. Mental defilements, kilesa, bind us and keeps us in rounds of rebirth, samsara. And we may have a rebirth in a superior or inferior realms based on our attitudes and actions. 16 mental conditions that swells the minds are mental defilements, kilesa, lobha, dosa, moha, greed, anger, and delusion are a broad definition of what mental defilement is. Under there, we can go in many details. And out of them, 16 are important enough to describe and discuss. And that's what we are going to discuss about. But however, some of us are even unaware that these 16 mental conditions are mental defilements. They don't think it is mental defilements or ignorant about it. Because of that, repeatedly act on these conditions. These are not beneficial and produce suffering and also give one's a inferior rebirth in the inferior realms. And also actually they are the base or the foundation of the serious unwholesome acts that could follow, which can take us to the four woeful states. So they are quite important for us to be fully aware of, because they are the trigger point of serious offenses and transgression. Let's go one by one. The first one is called abhijja. You are quite familiar with that. Covetousness. Abhijja is scheming and planning how to get others' possessions or property in a wicked way. It's in a thought form, haven't come out into verbal or physical yet, but still scheming in your mind. And these kind of wicked ways are called the visama lobha, evil greed. Okay? There's some lobha, greed, simply greed. Oh, I want this, I want that, I want to have a Mercedes. Of course, you work hard and pay for it and buy it. That is simply lobha. Nothing more, nothing less. But it gives you, binds you in samsara. But there are some lobha. You wickedly plan, execute, do things. Those are called visama lobha. Wicked greed. Those are dangerous. So the next one is vyabhada. In English translated as ill will. Ill will is actually mentally again, only in thoughts form. Mentally preparing a desire to hurt and harm others. In other words, you're planning, scheming again, this time to hurt and harm others in your mind. That's the second condition. The third one is called Koda. Let's call it short-tempered. Koda is also anger. Vyabhada is also anger. Dosa. But in here, when we say Vyabhada, it is purposely planning, scheming to hurt others. There's a lot of volition in it. But when you say Koda, the anger, short temper, it is let's call it is anger expressed as a short-tempered nature. There's no scheming involved, planning involved, no ill intent volition involved. That is, there are some people, they get angry very easily. They don't have to be a big deal or a big situation or incident about anything. It is even on small little matters. If these small little matter doesn't turn up their way, according to the way they see it or wish it, they get angry, short-tempered, just for a short period. Many perfectionists have this kind of anger, Koda. Whenever they see other people's imperfection, they get angry or short-tempered. That kind of anger is called Koda. One must be careful about. It doesn't have a great volition. There's not much intention involved. Just blow up for a short fuse. But still, it could hurt others. The fourth one is Upanaha. Basically, vengeful and unforgiving nature. One always look at an event from the destructive point of view. People with those kind of mental state in mind, revengeful nature, they are always looking how to destroy things, how to get even, how to revenge. So, this is the base for acts of revenge. Upanaha, unforgiving nature. When you are unforgiving, you are going to revenge. You are going to take a revenge. That's 4. Number 5, Mekha. Let's call it ungrateful. Not expressing gratitude to one's benefactors. Or you can say not responding or responding in kind or thanking people who helped and who assist you. Ungrateful people, that ungrateful nature will take one to the inferior realm, rebirth in an inferior realm. Taking for granted. You can call it that way either. The 6th, Palasa, not recognizing or admitting others who are superior to you, and also you consider that they are equal to you. Even though they are superior, you know for a fact that it's superior, but you act and you behave like it's an equal in terms of intelligence or whatever, fame, fortune. They are better than you, but you consider, no, I'm no less inferior to them. We are equal. That kind of attitude, such mental state will produce negative result for oneself, because you are always competing with people who are superior to you, and you can guess what the outcome is. So it's not good for oneself, and if you keep on doing it, the long-term result will be negative. 7, Hisa, jealousy. Jealousy is the opposite of sympathetic joy, rejoicing other people's success and happiness. And here you can't enjoy other people's success and happiness. That is jealousy. One is always looking for a fault in others because that's how you can put them down, and never seeing things around in a positive light. Always have to throw a cold water, and always jealous of others who are better than you. And that condition is associated with anger. There, in the scripture, it becomes little more details about jealousy in a different category or different mode. People are jealous of dwelling or place, where I live and what kind of house I live. Other people may live in a better place, bigger house, but you are jealous of it. That's in terms of dwelling place. Another one is you are jealous of friends. You don't want your friends to be friends of others who have better friends, who have a larger crowd, smaller crowd, larger followers, smaller follower. That's called kusa. Dwelling place is called awasa. Also, people are jealous of opportunity. Labha, L-A-B-A, labha, is translated as opportunity. You are jealous of other people's opportunities, getting good opportunities. Also jealous of beauty. I'm more handsome, he's more handsome than me. Fame, praise, wealth. You are jealous of these. It's called vana. Directly translated is just beauty. But they are all under that vana. Beauty, fame, praise, wealth. And the fifth group of jealousy is difficult to translate. Called achariya mukta. That's not delivering in full. Okay, to give an example is, there's a teacher, he teaches the students, very intelligent and a higher level. He doesn't teach everything he knows. He left some for himself so that the students will not be able to compete with him to become equal or to surpass. Okay? Keeping a ace up the sleeve, always there. That is the jealousy. Related to that, there's it's worth noting what the Buddha said to Ananda before he passed away. Buddha told Ananda, his attendant, that he had taught everything he knew. He has left nothing in himself. Everything he knew has been taught during these 45 years to everyone, whoever come across. Because of that, people would not need him anymore. People would not need him. They can entirely depend on the Dharma he had taught and achieve the goal. So that means he has no jealousy and envy with regard to this knowledge, wisdom he possessed. He gave everything so that people can be exactly like him. It's worth noting related to the achariya mukta, not delivering in full. Number 8, michariya, envy. Translated as envy. Envy is not wanting others as successful, as famous, as wealthy as you are. The other one is jealousy, is jealous of what others have. This one is you have it, but you don't want anybody to have what you have, so that you can be a cut above, a head above. Also, not wanting to reduce things that you already have. Some people translate as stinginess, but it's not exactly correct. It is not wanting others to be as successful as yourself, as famous or as rich as yourself. That is michariya, envy. And here's one little incident we should take note of. At the time of the Buddha, one Sakka is the king of the Devas, asked the Buddha, Lord Buddha, why does human cannot be in harmony and peace? They are always in conflict, fighting, competing. That's a question. And the Buddha answer was quite straight and simple. It is jealousy and envy, ita, michariya. Those two mental conditions are the one that keeps the world in conflict, in chaos, that keeps away the humanity achieving harmony and peace. Isa, michariya. Number 9 is Maya. Okay, Maya is crafty, tricky, letting other people believe the truth as false and the false as truth. That is Maya. It tricks you and tries to make you believe otherwise. So it's crafty. It makes you believe something good as terrible so that you won't go and get it. Or something that is holy as evil. In other words, they twist the truth in a very crafty and tricky way, hiding or covering one's misdeeds, wanting to feel important with pretense. That is Maya. And this mental condition arises from not wanting to be looked down by others. That's a base. You don't want to be looked down, so you use all the tricks and craftiness and present yourself in a way that what you are not, but better. That is Maya. Number 10, Tathiya or Satya. It's a crooked attitude, dishonest. Crooked attitude. When you are crooked, you are dishonest. And to be dishonest, what do? You're lying, deceiving. So that's the meaning of Tathiya, crooked attitude, dishonest, lying, deceiving others. And this mental state arises from wanting to make others miserable. It's very close to Maya, but the causes are different. Maya, trickiness arises from not wanting to be looked down upon. This Tathiya, crooked attitude, arises from the mindset that wants to make other people's life miserable. Very close, but the causes are different. Number 11, Tamba. Tamba is expressing a tough and rough look, caring, angry look, serious look. Whenever you are dealing with others, that is the expression you will give. So it's inflexible attitudes in social activities. Okay. My way or highway. Take it or leave it. So, to do that, one will use harsh and rude words. And of course, you justified it under the name of righteousness. This is right. That's why, blah, blah, blah. Tough, rough, rude, harsh words using. That is tamba. See, how can one think that I'm right and I'm telling you as it is in a tough way is a mental defilement, kilesa. But it is kilesa. It doesn't produce any beneficial result. And surely it will make you reborn in inferior realms. That's why we need to know these are mental defilements. Just being rude and harsh because you're right is mental defilement? Yes, it is. Number 12F, sramba. It is one-upmanship in an unwholesome action. Okay, it can be in a wholesome action too, but this one refers any unwholesome action. One-upmanship. Showing off, one can be nastier than anybody around. You think you're bad? Come taste my fist. I can punch you harder and tougher. I'm tough. You can drink 6 beers. I can drink 12 beers. Tough. I can drink more than you do. One-upmanship. You gamble? Oh, you can afford to lose 50,000. I can afford to lose 100,000. You think you're ruthless? Come and see how ruthless I can be. That is saramba, trying to show you can do more than the others, but in a bad situation, unwholesome situation. And 13 is mana, conceit. Conceit is perceiving that one is superior to the others. In a job, I'm better than you. Intelligence, I'm smarter than you. In sports, I can be a better athlete. Acting, directing, in anything. I am, basically, mana. I'm better, I'm greater attitude. When you have that attitude, it's called mana. And there's another one called adi mana. Mana still, but it is adi, added up. Adi mana. This is very specific, but it's worth noting. It's a conceit in those people who have attained Dhamma. Okay? It's not anybody. People who are practicing Dhamma, they have progress and they have a certain level of attainment already. Conceit in those who have attained or the progress in Dhamma. As you have attained and then you are so proud of the achievement, what happened was you could lose opportunities to attain higher wisdom because that can block you. And also there's a danger because you're so proud that you have attained so much. You think you are the greatest, and then it could happen that you transgress upon others who have achieved a higher Dharma than you. Not knowingly, of course, because you are so proud and you think you are so great. I'm the greatest. But there are people who are greater than you in terms of Dharma. But because of your own mental state, you can go and transgress upon others. That can give you a very heavy negative karma, a deep mana. People who are practicing samatha, vipassana, should be very careful about this. 15. Madda can translate as madness or crazy. Mad and crazy. But precisely what it is you are falling in love with yourself or falling drunk with what you have achieved. Falling in love with your own achievement, and you're totally drunk with it. Also, one's drunk in a sense pleasure. Yeah, everybody likes sense pleasure, but this one is you are drunk with it. You're excessive, obsessive. That is called madness or crazy, madda. And when you have that craziness, you do lose opportunities. Opportunities are there, but you are so much in love with your own success, you don't look around and you lost opportunities. And it's even delineated into 3 groups, what kind of craziness. One got crazy in love with your own youthfulness. And the other one is, you are in love with your own health. Oh, I'm so healthy. No disease can catch me, tap me. Other people have cold, I won't get it. So because you are blessed with good health, good genes, you are drunk with your own health. The third one is, you are drunk with your longevity, long life. So there are 3 kinds. One is the youthfulness, second, health, third, longevity. One can get mad or crazy with those 3 groups. And if you do that, if you are drunk with those kind of things, one will do crazy things. And when you do crazy things, that can take you to the 4 woeful states. We have a specific Dhamma talk called Mudong Mataka, crazy things. If you are interested, go back and look at that Dhamma talk. Number 16, the last one, Pamada. Pamada is forgetfulness. When you are absorbed in a sense pleasure, or when you become heedless, in other words, forget, heedlessness in the purpose of life. So you can ask, what's the purpose of life? Purpose of life is to grow and to become a better person for yourself and others. That's the purpose of life. And also, you become heedless in the certainty of death. All beings will die one day, but you live in such a way that you live forever. You don't think about it. When you don't think about that impending death, you behave differently. When you are quite aware of the impending death, you act sensibly. And also, heedfulness is not required to do sense pleasures or crazy things or mad things. You want to do these unwholesome things, you don't need to be mindful. You don't need to be heedful. Automatically, you just are. You flow into it. But mindfulness is absolutely necessary for doing healthy acts, wholesome acts. To do good things, you have to be really mindful and heedful. To do bad things, you don't need. So that is the 16th mental condition. One must know these conditions, these 16 mental conditions that swells the mind. They are mental defilements, kilesa. And these causes rebirth in a inferior realms. Whatever you are at, you can quite assured the next rebirth will be worse than or inferior than the one you have. Or these can really push you down the hill and do serious unwholesome acts and reborn in the four woeful states. Hell realm, animal realms, hungry ghost realms, demonic realms. So we must learn how to abandon these 16 mental conditions. The first approach would be wise attention, wise attitude, or right attitude. In Pali is yoniso manasikara, wise attention. And this wise attention can push these 16 mental defilements aside temporarily. For that moment, when you have that right thought, you would not be engaging with it. So that means temporarily. And another way is called samatha, concentration meditation. It can help to keep these 16 mental conditions at bay. Push aside, push bay, but not just for the moment, not temporarily, but a little bit of extended period, but still they'll come back as soon as you relax. Vipassana, insight meditation, abandons these things moment to moment to moment. Whenever you are in a vipassana mode, that moment is free from them. So it depends on how many moments you can sustain. Depends on how long you can keep moment by moment away. And finally, there's path wisdom, Megha Jnana. This path wisdom can permanently extinguish these mental defilements. Of course, there are 4 levels of path. So stage by stage, whatever condition that is related to that stage is being totally extinguished. At the final Arahata Magga, it extinguishes everything. That means they can never arise anymore. But to achieve these things, to achieve the goal, one must practice mindfulness, insight, meditation. Without that, one cannot achieve the final goal. May all of you be able to understand these 16 mental conditions are mental defilements and it is being with us at all time, every moment, one or the other, dragging us down to the inferior realm or even to hell realm under certain circumstances. One must know they are dangerous. And so may you be able to practice mindfulness insight meditation and extinguish all these mental defilements as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much.